Heyo, it's Emmy, and today I'm going to be making a video about how to save money in college because I'm all about saving money. And I was talking to my mom the other day about how ridiculous it is that people don't know certain things about saving money in college, and they could be saving so much money but they don't know these things, or they have a lot of money and they don't care, or whatever the circumstance is. I just want to put out some facts about how you can save money in college, so stay tuned. Alright, I have this list on my computer, so I'm gonna be looking down at this. The number one tip that I have is use scholarships. That's kind of obvious. Everybody says, oh, there's money out there, oh, there's this, oh, there's that. But specifically, if your state has scholarship money, for example, Florida has Bright Futures, take advantage of it. There are usually prerequisites, at least for Florida. You have to have a certain ACT or SAT score, which is kind of hard to get, but if you work hard enough, you can definitely achieve that. And you have to have a certain GPA, I believe, and 100 volunteer service hours as of when I got mine last year. So, you have to work on those volunteer hours, but that's really important because that's half of my scholarship funding, essentially. And there's different levels of it. It's just a really good thing to take advantage of, and so many people don't know about it, or they go out of state when they have state funding in their state, if that makes sense. This is kind of another tip. Go to college in your state if you have money in your state. For example, Bright Future scholarships in Florida only works if you go to a Florida school. So if you could have gotten Bright Futures but you go to school in Alabama or in Tennessee or New York and you can't use your scholarship funding, what good is that? Because you could go into major debt up there. Anyway, I could go on and on, but use your state scholarship funding if you have it. Work towards that goal because it's really important. Number 2 is live at home if you can. If you live at home, you save so much money. Room and board and meal plans cost so much money. Another thing is, don't get a meal plan unless you need it. Like if you live on campus, you'd probably use a meal plan. You'd probably need it because you don't have a kitchen. But if you live at home, you can make your own food. You can buy groceries. If you have an apartment, you can buy groceries. My mom cooks. I eat what my family eats. If that's an option for you, definitely try to stay at home and save money. I could live on my own, but I save so much money living here that why would I do that? The next thing I have to say is pack your lunch, especially if you live off campus and you're going to be at class all day. Definitely you want to bring a lunch to school with you so you're not buying cafeteria food or Chick-fil-A on campus. My campus is getting Chick-fil-A this year and I'm worried that I might spend a lot of money there. But you save so much money if you bring your own food every day. And you can treat yourself. You can have a coffee with a friend on campus. There's nothing wrong with that, but be intentional about bringing your own food so you don't have to buy it every time you go to campus for lunch. The next tip I have is make coffee at home. So I guess it's a cliche college thing that you spend a bunch of money on coffee, but there's really no reason to. If you have a dorm room, make coffee in your dorm room before class. Bring a little thermos cup. If you live at home, bring your thermos cup to school or drink before you go. There's different ways to work around it. Don't spend all your money on coffee. Get creative. Learn how to make drinks you like at home. It's not that hard, and you save so much money because a cup of coffee can be $5 or $6 or $7 depending on where you go, and you can save a lot of money that way. I have a thing where when I buy coffee, it's usually as a treat for myself, so I usually only get coffee if I'm meeting a friend or having a Bible study at a coffee shop or whatever that is. So I use a cup of coffee as a treat, and I wouldn't really want to get it by myself because in my head, buying a cup of coffee is like having good conversation, and I don't want to have one without the other. You have good conversation and friends, you gotta have coffee. You have coffee, you gotta have your friends. So that's how I look at it. I don't know, everybody's different, but I save a lot of money that way. Another tip that I have, and this is probably the biggest one, is do not buy new textbooks. There is no reason to. You don't need to do it. They're so expensive. Even renting and buying used textbooks is really expensive, I found, but you save hundreds of dollars. For me, I'm going to show my campus. We have textbook brokers. This is my bag. I ordered it. They had a tax-free sale at the beginning of August. So I ordered all of my textbooks online through them when it was text-free, and then my friend told me they had a military discount, and since my dad is retired military, I can use that. So I called them and they were really nice, and they gave me the military discount on top of what I had. And they also have a payment deferment plan. If I said that right, I don't know. So when your financial aid comes through, then they'll take the money out of your account, and not when you don't have money, because you know, college students don't always have money. So they do what the school bookstore does, and they'll take out the money once your financial aid comes through, so you don't break the bank weeks before school starts. So that's really sweet. And I found that I always have a good experience with them, and I save a lot of money on my textbooks. I don't know exactly how much, but they always have a renting option, or if not that, they have a buy used option. And I've only had to use that a couple of times when they didn't have rental books available. The only thing is, if you have access codes for your classes, usually like science classes, I've had a couple other classes that used access code. Usually if you buy the access code from like Pearson, like the textbook company, if you buy it from them, you save a few dollars. So I found that out. But other than that, always get used or rental textbooks because you save so much money. People who don't know any better go to the school bookstore and spend hundreds of dollars on their textbooks, but you don't have to do that. So you heard it from me first. Get used textbooks, rent textbooks. It's always a better option. Another really big tip I have is don't get loans if you don't need them. At my school, I don't know what it is like at other schools, but we have like a scholarship or financial aid portal on my student login for the school, and it puts your scholarships and possible loans that they offer you through financial aid all next to each other. Like, if you didn't know any better, you would think that it was free money, the loans. And loans, obviously, you have to pay back, and they charge you interest, and people get buried in over their heads with student loans, and they're just drowning in debt, and there's no reason to do that if you don't have to. So I was offered $2,000-ish in loans for this semester, and it would have been fun to just accept it and be like, oh, I got $2,000 more for free, but it's not free money. You have to pay it back.
Editing Emily here. I realized that I should have noted that I'm already going to be getting $1,200 in excess scholarship funding, so therefore it's really obvious why I shouldn't have taken the $2,000 loan and I just declined it instead. That would have been foolish to take it when I already had $1,200 in excess funds. So that's really what I was trying to say. Anyway, back to the video.
It's not free money. Always say no to loans that you don't need. My sister needs a little bit of loans because she plays softball and she can't work during the softball season, so she has to pay for her apartment. But she only takes out like a few hundred or something like that. Don't take what you don't need because you're going to have to pay it back later, and you don't want to do that if you don't have to. So think of loans as a bad thing unless you absolutely need them, which I never want to take out loans because I don't need them. But Dave Ramsey has a lot of materials on financial freedom and not going into debt and that kind of thing. So if you're confused about that or you want more information, check out Dave Ramsey because he has a lot of good materials. Another tip that I have, which I want to start talking about a lot more on YouTube, is look for sales. If you're buying groceries, if you do live on your own or you live in a dorm or whatever and you're buying groceries, look for sales, use coupons. Publix always has like buy one get one free. My sister used that a lot her first year of college, and I think she still does. Look for deals. Don't just buy stuff like, oh, I need this, I gotta go buy it the first place I can think of and get it there. Like, that's not always the best way to save money, so always look for sales. My last tip is take advantage of freebies on campus and anywhere else. My campus, there's always tables set up, usually around the commons area around lunchtime, and they're always handing out free stuff, and sometimes you have to talk to them about whatever club they sponsor or whatever, but there's so many freebies available. There's free food, there's free snacks. At my campus library, sometimes they have free popcorn, and they have like dogs you can play with, which that's not really something like freebie, but it's fun. Go around the bookstore and the commons area and the library and see if there's free food or free materials. Around exam time last semester, they were handing out goodie bags of like flashcards, highlighters, pens, snacks, like all this good stuff that you just get for free just by walking up to the table. So definitely take advantage of that. Keep hitting this. Always take advantage of freebies. And also, like, there's a Chick-fil-A by my campus, and sometimes they have free coffee, like on exam week, and you just like show your student ID. That's another thing. Take advantage of student discounts, because a lot of places offer student discounts when you show your school ID. So think about that. Alright, that's all for this college saving money tips video. I hope you take advantage of some of these tips and have a great semester. And if you're not in college, that's cool too, but I just want to throw out these facts that have helped me a lot and that I've learned throughout the past year of being in college, and I hope it helps somebody else. So stay tuned for a next video. I'm trying to pre-film some like back to school related videos while I have time, so that'll be interesting. Stay tuned for that and have a great day. Bye.